So we're in the bathroom and we're getting ready to wash all the fixtures in the bathroom. That would be the toilet, the sink, vanity, the front of the vanity, make sure there are no stains, watermarks, and then the tub shower component as well. So how I start is I fill the sink with some cleaning solution. My cleanings, and I use pretty much hot water. You can blend it so it's not too hot. But I start with some Mr. Clean, and probably just 2 or 3 tablespoons of Mr. Clean is enough in there. I set it aside because I'm also use that in a tub. I will also use some bleach, just a teaspoon or less. A half a teaspoon works. That's all you need to disinfect in the sink. Now you're going to want more in the tub because it's a larger area. So put your cap back on. We're going to let that set for a moment. We're going to put our rag in here, and that's going to help us clean everything in the bathroom. Let's go over to the tub, and let's put some water in the tub. So I've pulled the curtain out so that it's not inside. And I'm going to fill probably, I want to go just above the mat, the non-skid mat with water. So I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to push the stopper down to close it, and it's going to be on the far side to close. And I'm going to let it fill till it covers the mat. While it's doing that, I can pour in about 3 or 4 tablespoons of disinfectant, Mr. Clean, and I'm going to put in maybe a 1/4 cup of bleach, okay? Because I want to really disinfect that tub. We don't want any germs or any foot stuff like athlete's feet or anything. So we want to make sure that we disinfected the bottom of that tub. Now, while that's filling to the top of the mat, I'm going to turn to the toilet and clean the toilet. So the first thing I do, and I keep the supplies on the side here, pull these out, pull the seat up, and I'm going to put in some gel around the sides. I'm going to close it up tight, put it back on the floor, and I'm going to use the brush to clean the basin or the bowl of the toilet. And make sure I do that well. We want to keep the water stains off of the bowl. And then I want to go up underneath and make sure that I clean underneath as well too. And go around the inside of the rim. And if there's anything particularly gross or something that you feel like you want to use the brush to take off of the other part of the toilet, the rim, you can do that as well with the seat. I just make sure that the water is out of the brush and I'm not splashing it everywhere. So the toilet's pretty much done as far as the brush is concerned. So now I flush it, and it's time to wipe the rest of the toilet down with the disinfectant. And before we do that, we need to check to see that our tub has enough water, and I think that it does. We can turn it off. You can see that it's filled just above the non-skid mat. So we have all of our water prepared to wipe everything down, disinfect it. So I start with the toilet tank. I'm going to start on top. I'm going to make sure that that's washed good. I'm going to disinfect the handle. That's very important. And then I'm going to wipe down the rest of the tank. I'm going to move to the base of the toilet. I'm going to make sure that's quite clean. I'm going to take everything off of there, including any hair that might be residual from former guests. And I'm going to wipe the seat. I'm going to open it, wipe the inside of the seat all the way down very carefully. And then the seat, well, the lid, and then now the seat itself, I'm going to do that. I'm going to wipe around it, around the edges, and make sure that all the stains and marks are completely gone. Then I'm going to finish the ledge of the toilet and make sure that that's clean. And now I'm going to rinse. And I'm going to go around the toilet at the base, and I'm going to disinfect that as well. Because urine can get on the base, and we want to make sure that that's completely clean. So we're going to wipe the bowl on the outside all the way around. And then we're going to go down further all the way to the floor and wipe the toilet. And we're going to even go behind where the bolts are. We're going to wipe that base. We don't want any dust there. That will collect. And the mop is not going to remove that. So we want to make sure we do that in the process of cleaning the toilet. So that's pretty much done. The toilet is done. We want to make sure that we put the lid down as well. And that's a self-closing lid. Now, we can either choose to clean the vanity, or we can move on to the tub and clean the vanity last, whatever you like to do. I'm going to begin cleaning the tub first. So I have a brush, a yellow brush. It's medium stiffness on the bristles. And I'm going to get on my knees and I'm going to scrub the non-skid mat first. And by scrubbing, I don't mean that you have to put all your elbow grease in it. I mean you need to go over every bit of the surface and at least once, and then turn it over and do the same thing with the suction cup side of the mat. Make sure that you've gone over that completely. That mat is now disinfected as far as I'm concerned. Check it for any soil that you might not have removed. And if everything is good, I fold it in half and I put it up on top of the nozzle and I just let it drip dry. Okay? Then I focus on the tub itself, cleaning of the tub itself. The brush seems to be the easiest for me. It takes off any soap scum. It eliminates having to use soap scum remover a lot. So I began just going over the inside of the tub with this. And keeping in mind we're disinfecting this whole time because we have bleach in here. We're going to go up the sides, putting some pressure on, all the way up the sides, getting everything we can. And then we're going to go up beyond that, do the ledge of the tub. And we're also going to go up into this area to make sure that there isn't any soap scum on here, because this is where the soap tends to gather and to accumulate. So we make sure we've gone over that. And when we feel like it's smooth and clean, then we're ready to use the towel or the washcloth to finish everything up, to dry it, to make sure it looks good. It makes it ready for the next occupant. Now, the way to empty the water is we push on the left side of the stopper and it releases and the water will go down at that point. In the meantime, while that's happening, you can take your disinfecting rag from your sink, squeeze it out, and you can begin wiping down the walls of the shower. Okay, because these are all water spotted from the previous shower, and we don't want water spots. We want everyone to feel like they're coming into a space that no one has ever used before. So we want it to look brand new. So we do everything we can to make that happen. So we're going to go around the sides and wipe those down. So we've gotten 3 sides. We're going to go up. We're going to do this. We're going to go around the fixture controls. I'm going to wipe those off. And while those are spotted, we can't get those spots off. Those are caused by previous use of soap scum remover that has acid in it. So once you just wipe it down, that's as good as you can do. And make sure all the chrome is wiped and the ledges are wiped, and make sure there isn't any hair on the tub at all. Make sure that the ledges are clean, no hair, and there's no hair on the sides. If there is hair on the sides, you can turn this back on, you can pull this down, and you can use the nozzle to wash the sides if you need to. Now this is the control for the water jets. I like to keep it in the middle so that it's fully open. And you've got jets all the way around the unit. So once that's done, put it back up, and you do it by tucking the top in first, and then the bottom goes in. And then I wipe that off, the handle, because it's been touched and handled. And so that's finished. Okay? And you're, at this point, if you're, you can make a choice to either put the non-skid pad back in the tub, or you can wait for it to dry a bit and put it in at the end of your cleaning process. So we're going to let it sit there, and then we're going to do the last area, which is here. Now, looking at the mirror, and I see some spots. You can use mirror cleaner or glass cleaner to clean this. Or, most of the time, this disinfectant solution will do just as good at cleaning the spots on the mirror. So you can choose either one. And if you need a paper towel to dry it, those are under the kitchen sink in the kitchenette. But that should dry fairly nicely. Check the cabinet for any items that any guests have left. Wipe those, close it. And then every few times you clean, you're going to want to wipe the light fixtures. You're going to put the cloth behind the shade, and you're going to go down here and clean the dust off. That's important because that will build up. Okay, so you've cleaned your lamps. Those are good. And you don't have to do that every time. That's done periodically. Use your own judgment. Just make sure they're clean. And then all of the fixtures, towel fixtures, everything needs to be wiped down to disinfect them. People will use the grab bar, that sort of thing. And then you're going to also wipe off all of the doorknobs because you're disinfecting those. The light switches, you're going to wipe those off as well. And then you're going to hit the windowsills because those collect dust and sometimes insects get in there. And so you're going to make sure that that's all done. You're going to come down and do the ledge as well. Shades should be at about half mast. So right about where the bottom sash stops is where you're going to put your shade. Okay, and make sure that you wipe different things. You're going to wipe this off periodically and make sure it's clean. You're going to periodically wipe off your toilet brush unit so that it doesn't look soiled, and that's good. So the last item, and also your toilet paper roll holder. The last item then is your sink, and then you're done. It's not a huge deal because we keep up with everything, and makes it easier on us. So we're going to wipe the top down really good. We're going to go behind the faucet, around the faucet. We're going to pick this up. We're going to wipe the soft soap bottle because it can get get film of soap on it. So we want to wipe that off and finish wiping the top off. And that goes back there. Make sure you get all of the hair. There isn't any residual hair left. There's nothing worse than seeing someone else's hair and accommodations place when you check in. So we want to make sure that everything is wiped down, and then we're going to make sure that the faucet is also wiped down completely. The sides, the spout, the handles, everything about it is disinfected and clean so it's sparkling for the next guest. Now, guests will open handles, doors occasionally. We keep our toilet paper in here, keep our Kleenex in here. So they're going to be going in here, so we want to disinfect the handles on everything, okay? And here we have toilet paper. We keep our coffee here. So the extra coffee is here, and you can refill the pantry and the coffee maker area from this box. Also, these drawers down here, we keep extra towels in this drawer. Now, something that you need to know that's important, how do you get access to supplies like bags, like more glass covers, like soaps and lotions and those sort of amenities? Well, we keep this area locked because that's where we keep our supplies. The key to that is under this towel in the drawer on the left, and that will open this lock. You turn it quarter turn and it's open. And there's also a catch on the bottom that opens that door. You'll find all of our amenities in here. All of the bags, the small bags for the bathroom and the office, the larger bags for the kitchen trash can and recycle bin, and then you'll find the paper tops for the cups or the glasses in this Ziploc bag, and you'll find the soaps clear in the back on the right hand side as well. And then we have cups here for the table by the ice dispenser that you'll find here. So one cup on each side of the ice dispenser. So those are supplies, extra brochures for Daffin's Candies. And when you're finished, of course, then you shut that door and then quarter turn locks this one back up. Key goes under the towel. And we're all good. That way, and then we'll take one wipe of the face of the vanity because water and soap can sometimes run down there. So one nice clean or swipe on all of that. Okay, and you might check the end here because sometimes urine does accumulate on the side of the cabinet. So we're done with this area. The sink has been done, the toilet's been done, the tub has been done, we've disinfected everything. We're going to do a rinse of our rag and squeeze it out and empty our sink because that area is finished. Now we're going to move to the bedroom after I rinse the soap suds out of the sink, which I do with cold water. That's finished. We're going to grab our bucket and go into the kitchenette area. And we're going to clean the kitchenette area much like we did the bathroom. We're going to put the sink stopper in. We're going to fill it with hot water, not fill it, but a couple inches of hot water. And we're going to use the same Mr. Clean, just a little bit, and just a teaspoon or half teaspoon of bleach. Not very much bleach. We're not looking to bleach the entire building, just a few appliances. So this is hot water. The handle moved forward. So we have enough in there to do what we need to do. So it's apparent to me and to you as I pick this up that our client has used the stove and it very much needs cleaning on the sides, on the top, everything. So what I'll do is I'll unplug it, and I'll take this disinfectant rag and I'll wipe every surface down just to get all of that off, because we want it to be very clean for our next guests. Whether they use it or not, it needs to be clean. We'll check the underside just to make sure it's okay and that the feet are clean. And then we're going to move it to this area, being careful not to let it fall down the stairs. Now, so that that looks really nice and clean, we're going to take a paper towel and we're going to wipe this off so that we have a nice sparkling mirror kind of surface there. And we're done with that unit. And we'll put our paper towel in our bucket in case we need it again. Okay, so now we can wipe down the surface area of the countertop. We want to get the switches, garbage disposal switch, the outlets that are all GFCI protected from water, from shock, that sort of thing. We want to wipe the walls of food that might have splattered onto the walls from the stove unit, and go over here and do the same, maybe up here and do the same. Just make sure that everything's clean. Because we know that our prior guest cooked bacon and eggs, we know that we had some splatter and smoke. So it's very important that we also do some wiping on the ceiling above where the stove is. So I do several long sweeps on the ceiling to make sure that we get any oil or smoke off of the ceiling, and hence the smell of any bacon frying. Now let's go to the microwave, just down. So I'm going to look in the microwave. I've already determined it's been used. So it looks fairly clean, but if there's any odor, this will take the odor out. So make sure you wipe the sides, the bottom, the top, every part of the microwave, the door, all around as well. And then the control panel, the outside needs to be really clean. Same thing with the fridge. Clean the top, the front. And then you're going to go inside and check that. And if it needs any wiping, I noticed there's a couple spots in here. I'm going to wipe this out. I've already put in a couple bottles of water, so that's good. And then close our fridge. Okay, and the only thing left to do is to check our coffee pot. Make sure it's clean. So we're going to clean the back of where the pot goes for any debris. We're going to clean the heating pad for debris, and it looks like there was some. We don't want that to build up. We're going to clean the top. We're going to look in where the basket goes to make sure that's all clean, and it looks like it's pretty good, although I did get some grounds out of there. So you want to make sure the coffee pot is nice and clean for use by our next guest. And then I'm going to wipe also the countertop under the coffee pot, put it back, and then wipe the rest, and then leave the filter baskets there. I'm going to go down the bull nose, the front of it, make sure that's clean. Lots of times things will dribble down the front, so we need to check the drawers, disinfect the knobs, and that sort of thing as well. So the last thing to clean really is the sink itself. And you think, well, why do we have to clean the sink? Well, you can see the stains and the spots. It's stainless steel, so it's going to hold water stains and food stains. So we want to make sure we really wash down the sides of the sink as well as the bottom of the sink before we empty the water. And we also want to make sure that we've washed down the faucet so that it's disinfected. Remember, everyone has touched the handle several times, most likely. And so we want to wipe all of that down, including the spout. And under the soap, Make sure the dispenser is clean before we put it back. And there you go. So we're pretty much ready to put things back here, up on here. And every so often you need to wipe your shelves and do that sort of thing. Remove everything. Make sure your glasses are in order. And we'll be doing that a little bit later. Okay, so that part is clean. Check the side. Make sure it's okay. And you're going to also wipe down the furniture. So you're going to do the table, you're going to do this table and the lamp. And we make sure the lamps are all on when we're finished cleaning, because we want our guests to walk into a well-lit, inviting room. So our 3 phone cords should be up here, charging cords, and our table is close to the wall as we can get it, and our sofa is close to that end as we can get it, so that we have enough room for the dining table. And we also want the sofa to come out a bit, to be angled in the room. So we pull it out so that it's angled toward the television, which is on the wall opposite the sofa. We want to also check the sofa for any dust, any crumbs. We want to wipe it down, make sure that everything is good, so whoever wants to sit there is going to sit on a clean surface. Okay, so that's done. Now, the shelves, before we put dishes back, we want to clean some shelves. So we have shelves here to just wipe down. These should be done periodically. They don't have to be done every time, but they need to be done periodically. Check them for dust when you clean. So that's good enough there. Once the floor has been mopped, then these units will come down and go back in place, the seats. Okay, so that part is done. Let's check the pantry. Let's make sure that the salt and pepper shakers have not been handled, and I think they have, so let's be safe rather than sorry, and let's wipe these down and make those free of any germs. And any other spices that you think you might need to wipe down, go ahead and do it. Make sure everything is disinfected. These cups were removed by the guest, placed in here, so we're going to put them back on the table, as well as the ice bucket that was also relocated, and it goes back on the table in this position. And the cups surround the 2 cups surround the ice bucket. The TV remote, one of the most used items in a household, very susceptible to germs. So we want to make sure that we've wiped off the remote very well as well. And then it's placed back on the table, close to the sofa. And we're pretty much done with wiping down in here. At some point, you want to make sure the ledge is washed. You want to put this back. This will be put back. Now, you're going to plug it in. You're going to notice there's a light that comes on. That doesn't mean the unit is on. It just means it's ready for use. In order to use it, you have to push on and off, and it will light up and illuminate. So that's normal for it to have one red light. Okay, so that's ready to go. And we're going to finish wiping off the ledge. And one important thing to wipe off is the trash can. I've noticed there's quite a bit of debris on the top from handling it. And we want to do underneath the lid. And we want to wipe down any of the sides and the front, as well as the foot unit, so that the trash can is nice and fresh. And then check the wall behind, because sometimes trash can get on the wall, splatter on the wall. So check that as well. And we're actually done washing items in here. So we're going to squeeze out our rag one more time. We're going to empty the sink. We're going to wipe off the plunger or stopper. We're going to allow that to all go down, put it on cold water, wash the soap suds down into the sink, and you're going to take your squeezed out rag and you're going to dry off the sides of the sink, and it's going to look like brand new, and it's ready for occupancy at that point. Your sink, your kitchenette, it's done. Looking good. Okay,